Hello and welcome to Behind the Lines. I'm Diane Dayton. Today we're going to talk about hospice and community care and also their Labor Day auction. With us right now we have Joan Groh. You are the Community Relations Representative. Thanks for being here.
It's good to be back, Diane.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah.
And Lauren Musser, you are the Corporate Relationship Manager. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
I'm so glad you're here. I love this auction, and even more than that, I love what hospice and community care does. Do you want to explain a little bit more about that?
Sure, absolutely. Well, I always sort of start by saying that my role in hospice is to sort of be a community educator. So I'm out in the community sharing about what we do when it's time to have hospice, what kind of people come into our program. And so I always like the community to understand that many times people have in their mind this image that hospice means the very last few days of someone's life, and they connect those two times and that word together. And I really want to be able to stress to folks that what we want to do is be able to help people earlier on who probably pretty much know that whatever their condition is, whatever it is that they're struggling with, more than likely can't be addressed and cured in a medical way, but we certainly have other things that we can provide. We have treatments and support that we can give to these individuals to help them live the best they can with the time that they have left. So I really think that's sort of in a nutshell what we're looking to do.
And both of you have stories and why you got involved, right?
We do.
Yeah.
We do. Well, we've known certainly friends and family who have been cared for by hospice, and like Joan, my father was cared for 12 years ago by hospice and community care, and I always said that was a life-changing experience for many reasons, but it is the absolute reason that I work for hospice and community care today. His care was exceptional, it was professional, caring, and really honored him at his end of life, and we're grateful for that.
And Joan, you too,
Yeah,
more
absolutely.
recently. Yeah.
Well, again, I think once we do this every single day and it becomes part of a language that we're using, but when it becomes part of your own personal story, it really does take on a whole different perspective, and you see the just the compassion. And I think for me, what I recall with my mom in particular was just a sense that you could see her stress level go down because there was someone coming in that had the expertise to be able to assess my dad, figure out what was going on as he declined, and to be able to have ways that they could address that. There wasn't that panic of thinking, what's going on and do we need to take dad to the hospital?
Right.
So I could just see that comfort come to her, that she knew that she had that support there for her.
And pathways is so important, right?
Absolutely.
It is. Our Pathways Center for Grief and Loss is wonderful. This is a bereavement center that works with support groups and individual counseling, and it's just a wonderful bridge for families after they've lost a loved one.
Yeah. And for children, this is really, really key too, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think that's what's really special is that we have so many different ways that people can use that resource. We have the Coping Kids program, and that really is something that families attend together, and then the children go off with the counselors who are specifically trained in working with the kids. But the adults then can go together and say, how can we better learn to support our children who are going through this? But just so many things. We have the individual counseling sessions where someone can see, meet with somebody personally, or they might feel better in a support group. And the support groups are really tailored to specific needs that you may have, a loss of a spouse or partner, or a loss of a parent or a child. So, and we always want to remind the community that that's for everybody, not just folks who have had a loss through hospice. It would be anybody in our service area that's had that loss in their life and just needs to reach out and say, can you just give me some ideas on how I can work through this time in my life.
Yeah. So what is the process to use hospice services?
Well, I'd say basically we always encourage people. Sometimes they tend to wait for their doctors to say it's time for hospice. And there's many, many great doctors in Lancaster County and all of our service area, York as well, and who are definitely making those early referrals. They're watching their folks and saying, it might be time for us to have a conversation about hospice. But we also say to folks, you don't have to have a doctor making that referral initially, you can call into our facility and we will talk with you and send someone out to do an assessment, talk with you, and our staff are good at it's sort of pretty much getting their eyes on someone and saying, I think it is time, or maybe it's not, and then we can direct you in other areas. But we always encourage folks to go ahead and take that. There's no cost for that. You know, that's just something they can do. And then when we decide that, yes, hospice does seem like it's right, we always make a connection with their physician because we do need to have an order to get that started. But
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that's good. We're going to put the website up on the screen right now. What are we going to find on there? Probably a lot of really great information.
There is great information there, and as you said, we do have a page or a tab for our Pathway Center for Grief and Loss, but it also, we have different videos that have been placed on there, and it talks and speaks to the care that we can provide. It also speaks about volunteerism. That's a very important part of what we have at Hospice and Community Care that makes us different. We know that we have over 1,000 volunteers that give their time and their compassionate spirit, really, in helping others. So that's some of the...
What's involved with being a volunteer if someone's watching and wondering?
It's a great program, and what we do is we have a 6-week training that people go through, and at the end of that training you really talk with the volunteer department and really decide where's your level of comfort. What would you like to do? Would you like to be hands-on where you're working with patients and families, or if that isn't comfortable for you, would you like to come and work in the office? Would you like to help with the Labor Day auction? There are probably 18 different opportunities for people to help.
Wow, that's wonderful to be able to do that. Now this auction is always over Labor Day. It's that Saturday and that Monday. And we're going to get into more details in the next segment, but the big question is why it's important to do this auction. Tell me more.
Well, I think sometimes there's maybe a misunderstanding in the community as far as, you know, why do hospices have these fundraising events? What's the reason that they do that? And part of what I try to explain to folks is that hospice costs money. We do send a team of professionals that'll be dealing with folks in their home. We're responsible for providing medical equipment, medications. And so for folks who have Medicare, they're blessed in that sense that Medicare covers hospice services. But for some, in particular, I think our younger families maybe who have either have limited insurance or have no coverage, maybe have lost the coverage, they don't have any way to pay for their services. And we don't ever want to have to go out to assess someone, know they need our services, and have to say, because you don't have any way to pay for it, we're not going to be able to serve you. And so we've made this a mission that we're going to be able to serve everybody the same across the board, regardless of their ability to pay. And the only reason we can do that and provide services like Pathways, which we have no reimbursement for, is through the generosity of our community. And we were talking as we came in, both of us, it's just so humbling to see year after year the people that come out, just the giving spirit of our community is just amazing, and we're just truly blessed.
So you really don't turn anyone away who needs hospice services.
That's correct.
And it is like family there. I know I've seen friends there, and it's so bright and warm and welcoming, and the staff, it's really a wonderful atmosphere there. Is there anything else we haven't covered you want us to know about hospice and community care?
Well, I just think that we want people to know that this care is so readily available to patients and their families, and sooner rather than later, we have that ability to work with patients much earlier than what people realize, and it just takes that phone call into hospice to see if you're eligible for our care. And when we talk about how we care for people, we care for them not only at our inpatient center, which is a very home-like atmosphere, as you mentioned, but we also care for patients in their homes, or what they call home. It might be a retirement community or a nursing home, or even in hospitals. And so our care is very broadly given.
Yes. Anything else you want us to know, Joan?
Well, you know, as we were sitting here talking, I can remember a line that we have in our brochure that has always just grabbed my attention. And I think living in this area and growing up with a hospice that we know, we almost kind of take it for granted. And when I'm in the community and I run into other folks who say, we don't have a hospice like this where my mom or where I grew up, we don't have anything like this. And so I think it is good sometimes to remind ourselves that we have together as a community and an organization developed something that's amazing. And in our brochure, there's actually a quote from the president, former president, I believe, of the National Hospice Organization. And he said that as he came here to Lancaster, as we dedicated our second inpatient unit there at Mount Joy, he said that we're one of the top 5 hospices in the nation.
Wow.
And so I think, again, that when you realize what we've been able to grow here together, as a community and as an organization, it's really astounding. And we're, again, truly blessed to have it.
Wonderful. And we all can make a difference by attending this auction and helping. So we're going to take a brief pause, and we come back. You're going to get all the details. Stay with us. Welcome back to Behind the Lines. We're talking about hospice and community care, and now we're going to talk about the fabulous Labor Day auction. Joining Lauren and myself is Natalie Skolnick, and you are the special events coordinator for the auction. Thanks for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
So it's Saturday and Monday, and breakfast starts around 7:30 each day, right?
Yes.
It does.
Goes to about 10:30ish, but the auction goes on all day and maybe wraps up 6ish, right?
That's correct.
Okay, what's different this year? It's at a different location.
It is. This year we have moved to the Solanco Fairgrounds
Okay.
in Corryville. So we have had the auction the last 15 years at the Lampeter Fairgrounds, and thanks to the community support that we have each year, we have outgrown the Lampeter Fairgrounds, so it is time to move farther south down to the Solanco Fairgrounds. So we are really excited about the move.
About how many people attend this? Do you know?
Over 2,000 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot going on. And last year, I think you raised $520,000.
We did.
Wow, that's amazing. And
That was amazing.
That does a lot of good work, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. It does. It does support our mission, every single part of our mission, from the Pathway Center of Grief and Loss to our hospice care.
Yeah. Now let's talk about all those ways that we can help raise money. I mean, the auctions. Now there's several different types of auctions. There's a new fine art auction, correct?
There is a fine art auction. We have always sold artwork throughout the years, and we would just intermingle the artwork with the items. This year, on Monday, we will have an art auction at 2 o'clock. And each year we have beautiful pieces that come in, originals and signed limited editions from many local artists, and we're delighted for that. This year we have something very special that has come to us. We have an original Norman Rockwell, and that has been donated to us by Thelma Flory, who is a longtime supporter of hospice and community care. This piece is called Swords of Weehawken, and this is a study for an illustration for a magazine called The American that was published in 1938.
Oh my.
Norman Rockwell was asked to do an illustration for the story Swords of Weehawken. So that is how this picture came about.
That's excellent. That's going to be a great piece for auction. I can't wait to see what that goes for.
It's very exciting. I need to tell you that we had it commissioned and an appraisal done, and the appraisal came in at $75,000, and we do have a reserve on it of $50,000.
Okay, great. Well, we've got some more items here too. So what can you tell us about this, Natalie? We've got this great necklace, right?
Yes, that is a strand of freshwater pearls that was donated, and we also have a beautiful handmade quilt and a football signed by Coach Franklin with Penn State.
Excellent.
So just to touch a little bit, we have several different auctions on Saturday. Mostly we have new and used items. On Saturday we focus on our gift baskets and gift certificates and other various used new and used items.
Okay.
And Monday is really the big day. We have a sports memorabilia auction, which this year we would like to thank Blue Ridge Communications. They are our sponsor of our sports auction this year. and Eric May from Sports Talk will be
Yes.
our guest MC, and we are really excited about having him and
Good.
having you guys be a part of it. That will start at 9 o'clock on Monday. We have a plant and outdoor furniture auction on Monday. We have, we will auction off our quilts at 10 o'clock. We have new and used furniture at 1 o'clock. And
We have a plant auction as
Yeah.
well, beautiful plants.
so really Monday is the busy day, and we also get used cars
Wow.
that people donate. that
Everything and
do-
anything, huh?
Everything and anything. And actually this year I had just received an email. Somebody is donating a pop-up camper.
Oh, okay.
So that's fun and different.
Yeah.
And there is really on Monday a lot going on and a lot of movement at the fairgrounds.
And there is a big, beautiful red vehicle. That's
There
a part of the
is.
raffle. It's a 2016 red Mustang, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
right.
Every year we also have a raffle associated with the Labor Day auction, and we sell raffle tickets online. You can go to our website to buy them, and we are raffling off the 2016 Ford Mustang, $2,000 Visa card, and a $1,000 Visa card. So you have 3 chances to win on one ticket. You can win a car or cash.
That sounds great. There's also a day of care auction. Tell me how that works.
There is a day of care auction, and it's a wonderful part of this. You know, sometimes people come to the auction and they're not interested in bringing one more item home.
Right.
Their houses are full. There might be downsizing, but they want to give back to the mission of hospice and community care. And so we actually do a live auction where we bid a day of care, which is $178 a day. And so we have people who generously raise their bid numbers and provide that care for us. And that is a really moving moment during the auction, where so many people just freely raise their bidder number,
Oh,
say,
that's
I'm
great.
willing to give to this.
That's wonderful. And there's an app for this too, right? There's an auction app. Tell me about that one.
New for this year, we have a Labor Day auction app, and we are still working on finalizing it as we speak, but it should be finalized very soon. It will have everything that the website offers. However, you will get notifications throughout the day.
Okay.
The sports memorabilia auction is ready to start in building, and so you can download that at the App Store or at Google Play or iTunes.
Okay. We're going to once again put the website up on the screen because this is a new website for this year. It's labordayauction.org and .com. So you
Yes.
can go to either one
Yes.
and find out everything. Tell me a little bit more about that because are there items on there too and more about the auction,
We will
right?
have listings of items, yes. We will try to keep that as up to date as we can. We will have our lead items, which is the unique vacations, the jewelry, different things like that. We'll keep that updated. We'll keep our sports listing updated. There should be an art listing at some point that we'll have up there, but just
Okay.
check it out. We'll
Yeah.
be updating it throughout the months of July and August, and it really is a nice way to find out information for the auction.
I love how the entire community comes together and supports this because there are so many people that are involved with this, and including the Amish community. Tell me more about
They
this.
are. We just, as we say, we have an army of volunteers, and of course, all during the week prior to Labor Day weekend, we have setup week, and we have tireless volunteers that come and spend entire days with us getting ready. And we also do have the Amish community making our food and helping to serve it up that day. And this is a wonderful thing. You know, we serve the Amish community in a large way, and this is absolutely their way of giving back and helping with hospice and community care. They know that every one of their efforts in making that delicious food
Yes,
for
yes.
everyone,
Yeah.
they know the end result of that are dollars that are going back into hospice and community care. So we're grateful for their knowledge. They're great at whipping up dinners and delicious food, and we encourage you to
yeah.
come and be part of that.
I love taking home pies from there.
Yeah,
It's
it's great.
That's
great.
really, really good. What else do we need to know about the auction, Natalie?
Well, I will tell you, just talking about the food, we do the breakfast logs on Monday that we serve are very popular, and it's basically bacon, egg, and cheese wrapped up in a pretzel roll, and they are mouth-watering. They have become very popular,
Right.
and we do allow people to pre-order those in advance by the dozens. So you can go on the website and pre-order breakfast logs. That was popular last year, and the line was backed up in the fairgrounds last year for breakfast logs.
Right,
So
right.
get yours in advance.
Yeah, and you know what? You can come there and spend several hours without even thinking about it, because there's so many things going on. You find
There are.
different items that might catch your attention, and there's so many ways that we can give back to the community, you know, through the money that's raised here, and even cash donations are fine too, right?
They are. And you know, one thing that we always say is there is something for everyone
Indeed.
at this auction, from great treasures in the used building. We have wonderfully used furniture and items that go back. People love that. They love the plants for their homes. There's just something for everyone there.
Yeah, it truly is. This is a wonderful time. Once again, it is over Labor Day weekend, which this year is September 3 and 5. So that is Saturday, and that's also Monday. It starts at 7:30 for breakfast, goes to about 10:30-ish, and then the auctions go till they're done, usually around 6 o'clock.
Yes.
New location, Solanco Fairgrounds. Go to the new websites, get all the information.
Yes.
That's
There
right.
we have it. Good
That's right.
stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here and giving us more information. We're going to take a brief pause. When we come back, we've got some final thoughts, so stay with us. We've been talking about the Hospice and Community Care Labor Day auction, this year held at Solanco Fairgrounds. Let's have a final thought.
We just hope to see everyone there on September 3rd and 5th. And don't forget, this year we're at the Solanco Fairgrounds in Quarryville. And we also have an app this year. Search Labor Day Auction in Google Play or iTunes and download the app. And everything you need to know should be found in the app.
Yes, and new websites too, which is labordayauction.org and .com.
Yes.
And a final thought, Jen.
I was just sitting there thinking about, as I walk around the auctions each year, sometimes take time to sit down, whether I'm eating a breakfast log or having some chicken barbecue. I get a chance to talk to people, and what I really enjoy is hearing the stories of how hospice has touched their lives. And it just reminds me that that's the whole reason we do this. And it's amazing to see people come back year after year, and they oftentimes are the folks that had such a wonderful
Yeah.
experience, and it's their way of saying,
Yes.
this is important to me.
Yeah.
And it's just really touching.
It is. Thank you for
you.
being here, and can't wait to see you over that weekend for that
Great.
too.
Thank you,
Thank you for
Diane.
having
Yeah,
us.
this is going to be a great time.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today, too. I'm Diane Dayton with Behind the Lines. And remember, keep looking behind the lines. You might be surprised what you find.